We're learning new information about the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. New details released today show law enforcement had text messages going back and forth about the would-be assassin more than an hour and a half before the shooting. Scott McFarland joins us now from the nation's capital with these new details on the timeline.
Newly released police text messages now show officers were aware of Thomas Crooks at least 105 minutes before he shot at former President Donald Trump. Over 30 minutes more than previously known. At 4:27 p.m., one counter sniper texted his colleagues, "The shooter knows you guys are in there," referring to the building he just left. At 5:38 p.m., in a different group chat, an officer sent a picture of Crooks and says, "I did see him with a rangefinder looking toward the stage." Still, 40 minutes later, Crooks had a clear line of sight at the stage when he shot Trump.
Seemed to have a comprehension of the security arrangements, if you will, and seemed to have really done a deep dive into possibly how to get around those.
There were other failures of communication. Beaver County, Pennsylvania held a morning security briefing that day. Secret Service was absent. In fact, that SWAT team says they never spoke to Secret Service on the day of the rally until after the assassination attempt. This new timeline comes as an FBI investigation reveals Thomas Crooks carefully planned his moves. The FBI says Crooks' internet history reveals he researched power plants, explosive devices, how far Lee Harvey Oswald was when he assassinated JFK, and even the assassination attempt against the Slovak prime minister earlier this year. They say he made more than 24 firearm-related purchases and bought chemicals in the year before the shooting using aliases. FBI agents have completed approximately 450 interviews and searched data on the shooter provided by 86 companies.
It seems this has played out is sort of the lone wolf scenario, where an individual doesn't have a lot of friends, he's not sharing information with friends or family, and he's just keeping everything to himself, maybe internalizing it because he's got this ultimate goal.
Meanwhile, Secret Service Acting Director Ronald Rowe is in the hot seat tomorrow at a U.S. Senate hearing to explain the agency's internal probe into its failures July 13th. Yet another investigation is just launched. The U.S. House announced a 13-member bipartisan task force with subpoena power to investigate the failures of July 13th and whether any risks remain.